Week 1, the Carolina Panthers are about to experience a phenomenon so rare, so unique, you would thought it was the solar eclipse. We're talking about Travis Hunter. Is there any way to stop him? Well, I know one way. Pray that Jesus is a Carolina fan. Hey everybody, it's your man Big Cat here. Welcome back to 1995 The Roar, a channel for the fans by a fan, restoring the roar. Today we're here to talk about Travis Hunter, that electrical phenom, week 1 in the Carolina Panthers. What do they plan to do to slow him down? If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, man, hit the like button, share, subscribe, most importantly, comment. Let's get the algorithm on our side, okay? Be sure to stick around at the end of this video so you'll know when the schedule prediction video, weeks 5 through 8, drops. With that being said, let's go into our first take, the first roar. In today's first segment, the first roar, we're here to introduce you to Travis Hunter, a kid out of Callan Hill High School, grew up in Swanee, Georgia, also attended the University of Colorado with the legendary coach Deion Sanders. You're talking about a supreme athlete, a guy who has the athletic phenomenon ability as a Mike Vick in his speed, as a Deion Sanders in his athleticism, or Julius Peppers in his size and his ability to move like a cat. There's nothing like any of those three guys, but you're getting a little bit of everything when it comes to Travis Hunter, a guy with elite stamina to play on both sides of the ball and can affect the game on both sides of the ball. My only concern really is how will the Jacksonville Jaguars use him against the Carolina Panthers. If they're smart, I believe they should keep him at cornerback. But with that being said, you can't ignore his uncanny ability to make plays on offense as well. With that being said, let's dive into our next segment, the CAT scan. On today's CAT scan, I really want to just dive into the metrics of how he excelled at the college game. Let's start with the cornerback position. If you look on your screen here, PFF had him rated as the 3rd best college cornerback with a 90.9 overall college grade. His passer rating allowed was 42 overall, 9th best in the Power 4 conferences, okay? He also had 4 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, and 36 tackles. With that kind of production, it's hard to keep a guy like him off the field. Travis Hunter is such a phenomenon. He's not a liability when you put him in man or in zone. I mean, he was literally targeted 38 times, had 11 pass breakups, and 4 interceptions. But the most crazy stat line is, out of all the times he was targeted totally, he gave up 206 yards. When it comes to zone coverage, I think he had an 86, and man coverage, he's an 83. I mean, his playmaking ability is through the roof. Now, granted, I will say the competition level that he's going to face isn't Big 12 or Big 12 competition when it comes to the NFL. But you got to give it to him. And I think the way he makes plays the most is strictly off of athleticism. This kid is 6'1", 185. He's long, he's lengthy, he's fluid in his motion, his athleticism. He reminds me a little bit of J.C. Horn when it comes to his instincts, right? I seen a play, I might put it on the screen. I don't know if I put it on the screen here. I seen a play against UCLA where this guy was literally covering 2 people. Matter of fact, I'll put it on the screen. If you look on your screen right here, you'll see where he's literally in charge of 2 people. But he ends up breaking off his route, jumping your route because he baited the quarterback. He instinctually baits the quarterback into this throw. They were targeting him. They put him in a position to where if he stays put, we go over top. If he drops back, we go underneath. But he baited him just enough to where he can make the jump on people. These are the kind of things that he does. These are instinct. You can't teach this. You have to sell that. You have to be able to make this. And he makes the interception falling down. If you don't believe this kid, a lot of people say he's undersized, and I get it, he is undersized. Talent is talent. I don't care if you guys remember Darren Sproles? Darren Sproles was what, 4'9" or 5 feet or something? Darren Sproles was a Pro Bowler. Did you guys know that? So, yes, there are some things he has to clean up, but one of them is not his instincts or his athleticism. With that being said, I kind of just hinted at it. One of the things that's probably going to be a problem is the fact that he's 185. he's probably going to get bullied in the run game. I'm going to tell you that now. If you're going up against a DK Metcalf or A.J. Brown, heck, if it is able to get, figure how to use his size and talent out, he may can bully him. But he wasn't very good against the run. He wasn't very good at getting off blocks. And if you're facing a physical receiver, I don't know if you guys remember Elick Armamata from Stanford, the wide receiver from Stanford, Elick Armamata. I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, but he bullied him for a touchdown on top of his head. So I don't even know if you want him to put on more weight because it probably would hinder his gameplay. So I'm not sure how you ramify it. Maybe 10 more pounds or something like that of that nature, or bulk it out and make him more stronger physically that way. But it's going to be a problem, unfortunately, man. And 185 out of Colorado, he ended up having 6 missed tackles and run support. So, I mean, it's really going to be some growing pains with him. I think a lot of people just expected for him to come out and pop off and put up godly numbers. Not to say that he can't, but really my expectations are tapered down for him, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think he probably could come away with a pick, but the Panthers, one thing I think they're going to do really, really well this year is run the ball. And, hell, while we're talking about Travis Hunter making plays, I'm not sure if Rico Dowdle may put a helmet sticker on him, you know what I mean? Be honest with you, if he has to come up and help. So weakness against stronger guys in the run, weakness against stronger and bigger receivers, whether it's running routes or run blocking, it might be a little bit of a slow process for Travis Hunter. Now, on the flip side of the ball, how would they use him at the wide receiver position? If you look up on the screen last year, he was ranked in all these key metrics when it comes to receptions, yardage, and touchdowns. He had 96 receptions, 1,258 receiving yards, and 15 total touchdowns. He averaged a 13 1-point yards per catch. He also was up in the 94th percentile when it comes to catching the ball. All right. And he also had over 68.8% success rate in contested catches. So out of 16 contested catches, he had 11th. Overall, he ranked 86.25 when it comes to offensive grade PFF, but he just ranked 25th overall when it comes to route running and separation. Now that's a key stat there. Although Travis Hunter was prolific at catching the ball, the problem is the route tree was very, very mundane. College football route tree is nothing like NFL route tree. I promise you that. And a lot of his routes were curl routes, underneath routes. And the reason for that was they didn't really have a lot of time to block in Colorado. If you look at his percentage of where he caught the ball, it wasn't deep down the field. Although he had plays where he did make them, the majority of his plays were underneath. And that's not necessarily his fault. You know what I mean? That the fact that the offensive line wasn't blocking for him, they had to get the ball out quickly. But with that being said, Travis Hunter has a lot growing up to do when it comes to this offense. So going back to Travis Hunter's weight and size, again, from the defensive side of the ball to the offensive side of the ball, that 185 frame, he already was 25th in separation out of college football. It's not going to translate good for the NFL. You got some big, strong, physical cornerbacks here. You're going to face J.C. Horn, who is a handsy guy who likes to be physical. You know what I mean? You got a couple other cornerbacks on that schedule that's probably going to give him the business with that frame. So it's one of them things that the Jaguars are going to have to figure out. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to have to lean him up, bulk him out, or I don't know. But, the route tree, learning that and being able to get separation at the NFL, I think he'll be more better at cornerback. I'm telling you, man, because of that frame. That frame allows him to do that. But you're going to see him impacted on both sides of the ball because of his weight. A key metric that kind of went unnoticed when it came to Travis Hunter is his focus and concentration drops. Oftentimes in big games or when you needed him the most, he'll have a big drop, right? It's not because he wasn't open, not because he couldn't make it. It's just concentration drop. And those could add up real, real big because in the NFL, you don't get a whole lot of stabs at it. Sometimes if you make a home run play or they draw up a home run play, the defense adjusts to you quickly, right? If I know what kind of play you are, we take a shot at you and I see you try to go back and make that play again, you're already on my radar, right? So you have to utilize every target, every reception when you can. The biggest concern with me for Travis Hunter is over 700 snaps played on offense, 700 snaps played on defense. Is there going to be attrition when it comes to NFL? You're undersized, so you're going to work harder to get off the line of scrimmage on offense and defense. You're going to get hit harder on defense and offense. wide receiver lowering their shoulder trying to truck you, whether it be on cornerback, you trying to lower your shoulder, hit a wide receiver. It's going to come back and it's going to be hard for you. So 700 plus snaps, it'll be highly unlikely. But to me, I mean, he's going to really have to come to terms with whether or not he wants to play on one side of the ball or another. I don't think this kid's body can hold up. I mean, you already see him take a big hit in Colorado, and he was down for a little bit. So I don't know, man. To really summarize Travis Hunter, I think he's overly reliant on his talent, right? Sometimes you have to be more of a schematic scheme kind of guy. If you guys don't remember James Bradbury for the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles, he often didn't have the speed that we call elite, right? But his sound technique allowed for him to become a Pro Bowler. Even so much so that where he got a contract extension up in the millions with the Eagles. He's never known as an elite cornerback when it comes to speed, but his technique was amazing. And Travis Hunter, if he wants to hang around, he's going to have to develop that technique. He's going to have to probably put on a little more weight. But don't fool you, man. Although he's undersized and his technique may be real raw, he's very raw right now. Don't think that he can't put up 100 yards receiving. Don't think he can't have 2 or 3 interceptions in a game. Matter of fact, I'm anticipating him have at least 1 interception when it comes to Bryce Young this game. Ultimately, the Panthers got a lot on their hand. Who would more than likely be best suited to stop Travis Hunter? You can't put J.C. Horn on him. I mean, he's literally got to cover Brian Thomas Jr. Michael Jackson, I can see Travis Hunter having a big day on Michael Jackson. When it comes to him covering, really, man, I'm not too high on this receiving group right now. It's nothing to do with them. I think it's more so just maturity and learning the scheme. I think Xavier Legette's going to have to step up and start making big plays as we thought he could do year one. 400-500 yards ain't going to cut it. So more than likely, Travis Hunter's not going to be on Legette. You know what I mean? Maybe our number 2 guy, maybe McMillan. Could be some interesting matchups here. But I don't see us stopping Travis Hunter. I see him getting his. But I also don't see Travis Hunter like going off to the tune of just a blowout game. I don't see him having 2 touchdowns and 200 yards receiving. I don't see that. I just don't, man. Matter of fact, if his line is up above 80 yards, I'll probably take the under on it, you know what I mean? Because I think he'll have, splash play here, a couple 20-yard catches here, and probably a pick, And that'll be, heck of a debut for him. Ultimately, you got to put respect on who he is as an athlete and what he can do as far as affecting the game on both sides of the ball. Heck of a talent, heck of endurance, and a big problem for the Carolina Panthers. With that being said, let's move on to our next segment, the Paul Report. All right, on today's edition of the Paul Report, again, I don't have much for you. Waiting on training camp. That's an exciting time. Carolina Panthers are bringing Fan Fest back to Bank of America Stadium. How do you guys feel about that? Last year was in Clemson. Tickets are on sale now, going into August as well, so make sure you hurry up and get those. I had the privilege of going to Fan Fest one year. Very hot, very muggy, beautiful light show or laser show towards the end. So, if you want to bring your kids, make sure you're hydrated. And, it's just an open practice pretty much in front of everybody, followed by a really cool laser show. Let me know, do you guys wanted to go back to Clemson? Last time I heard it was a firework popping on people's head. That's not funny. That's not funny, but yeah, that's what happened. All right, so let's move on to our next topic here. Nothing quite to do with the Panthers, but more so their stadium. Carolina Panthers have been awarded the 2026 MLS All-Star Game. I think this is huge, man. No, it's not the World Cup, which is probably the biggest soccer event in the world, but to have another All-Star game there, it could lead to bigger opportunities. I know a lot of people keep saying Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. I think you have to meet certain metrics as far as hotels, spacing, stuff like that. So get in the comment section. Do you think the Panthers will ever hold a Super Bowl? And if you believe this MLS All-Star game, will this be the catalyst to kind of get that conversation going as well? Last but not least, this is not breaking news. Somebody called it breaking news. It's more so heartbreaking news. Panthers legend son, Muhsin Muhammad Jr., was released away by the Carolina Panthers. In case you guys don't know, I wear the number 87 because of Muhsin Muhammad. a guy who I grew up watching, probably my favorite player. Yeah, so it's heartbreak, man. The roster's only so many full, you know what I mean? You got Jimmy Horn, you got T-Mac, you got Leggett, you got Renfro. I mean, it's just a lot. So hopefully, man, the kid, wherever he goes, lands on his feet and prove people wrong. It would have been a heart welcome story for him to come back. And, you know, who knows? Injuries, stuff happen like that. Maybe he can find his way back to our practice squad. But at the end of the day, it's all just a business. That's all I got for you for today's Paul Report. Now, let's wrap up the show with the Last Growl. All right, kiddos, welcome to the Last Growl. Taking my hat off, putting this one on. I like this one. Tell me what y'all think about my hat here, man. I've been having the pleasure, thank God, to travel this beautiful earth. I got this hat down here in, Belize? I think it was Belize or Honduras, man. A lot of people haven't got the pleasure to travel the world. I was able to snag that, okay? Here's my last growl. Carolina Panthers are going to be okay, but they are facing a highlight, a phenomenon, an elite, immensely, overly talented weapon. And if they're going to keep this guy under check, well, it's going to be a team effort. Although I think Travis Hunter will struggle initially, doesn't mean that we're going to stop him. I still think there will be room and opportunity for big plays. I'm just so glad that we only got to face him one time a year. Imagine being in this kid's division. And as time goes on, he will get better and better. So the mistakes of this first game, trust me, the next time we meet, they won't be the same. That's all I got for you for today's Last Growl. And yeah, real quick, if you guys are interested in Fantasy Football League, on my last channel, I had over 3 years worth of Fantasy Football Leagues. Last year we paid out over $4,500, the year before $4,000, and then I think I did like $3,000 worth of Fantasy Football Leagues, okay, the year before. So it's like $100 leagues, 10-man, got some $20 leagues, 10-man, 50, it all depends, all right? But going into August, just kind of look out for that on the community section. If you're interested, it's no pressure if you don't. So yeah, that's what we got going on, all right? Be sure to follow me on all my social media. I don't have a whole lot posted just yet, but go to my my main YouTube page. You'll see all the links to all my social media. Follow me around. Tell somebody about me, okay? Get in the comment section. Will the Panthers lock up? Would they put the seatbelt on Travis Hunter? Will Travis Hunter put the seatbelt on whoever he's guarding? Let me know. I think we're going to have him in check. He'll get his, though. That's all I got for you guys, all right? This has been 1995 The Roar. A channel by a fan, for the fans, restoring the roar. Make sure you subscribe. 95ers. Let me hear you roar. We up out of here, man. Pause up. Keep pounding.